happy to see you here this evening, and we thank you for joining us for the 2016-17 Athletic Information Meeting.
For the latest sports info, be sure to visit our school website or visit our Twitter.
Our athletic program strives to promote healthy competition and to embody the highest ideals of sportsmanship and respect.
Students are encouraged to strive to compete at the highest level their ability and performance will allow. We meet the challenges of our athletic philosophy by cultivating the following values.
Our first value is a commitment to achieving individual and team goals.
The second value is a commitment to diligent preparation, fair play, and self-discipline.
A commitment to exercise and competition which contributes to the development of an athlete's mental, emotional, and physical well-being is our third value.
And finally, a commitment to age and skill appropriate coaching and competition is our final value.
As an athlete, an athletic participation packet containing 5 forms is required to be completed.
An emergency card is the first form. Please make sure your emergency card is up to date at all times.
An insurance form is required once a year. If your insurance changes, it is the parent's responsibility to update this information.
A concussion form and a physical form are also required. A physical examination is valid for 365 days.
Beginning May 3rd, 2016, all physicals are valid for 395 days.
Finally, a domicile form is required each year unless your family has an address change. If there is a change of address, please update all information with your child's school.
Everyone has been to a sports competition where the fans or the players are not exhibiting the best sportsmanship. Here at Mount Pleasant, it is our goal to exhibit the best sportsmanship at all times.
In addition to good sportsmanship, our athletes serve as role models both inside and outside of the classroom.
As an athlete, my teachers hold me to a higher standard. They know my coach is only a phone call away, and if I'm not setting the standard for others in respect, attendance, or effort, I will be held accountable.
On the court or the field, Mount Pleasant athletes respect their coaches and refs, and use of profanity is not tolerated.
And if you come to see us play, which we hope you do, we hope you hold the same values and help us keep the competition friendly and represent our school with dignity. Please know that if a spectator, coach, or athlete does not act as positive representatives of our school and community, they will be asked to leave. Anyone asked to leave will not be welcomed back for the remainder of the season.
Through our coaches' open door policy, parents and our athletes are welcome to speak to our coaches at any time.
If you have a question or concern about your student athlete, please contact your child's coach. Many small issues can be taken care of at this level and provide quick resolution.
Once the coach has been contacted, the athletic director can be contacted for further support.
As a last resort, our school's administration will happily correct any problems not solved by the coach or athletic director.
Our coaches do the very best they can do. In order for them to have a most successful season possible, please do not hassle our coaches about playing time, strategies, play calling, or other student athletics.
We know it can be emotional at times and tempers run high, but please use a cool down period before speaking to our coaches so they have more time to dedicate to us.
So how do you know whether your son or daughter is eligible to play a sport? They just need to meet these qualifications.
First, they must be an active member of the Mount Pleasant Middle School as assigned by the local Board of Education. This means the student must live with a legal parent or guardian within the school's district lines. A student may not have 2 legal addresses for eligibility purposes.
A student cannot be 15 before August 31st, 2016, or they are ineligible for middle school sports.
In addition to these qualifications, school attendance is important, and it is required for all our student athletes. This includes all the absences, both excused and unexcused.
In addition, an athlete must be in attendance 85% of the school year, cannot miss more than 13 days in the previous semester, and must be in attendance at least half a day to be counted present at MPMS.
Grades are extremely important as well. Athletes must pass a minimum of 3 out of 4 core classes the previous semester to be eligible to play.
If a student is not eligible at the beginning of the semester, they remain ineligible for the remainder of the semester.
A rising 7th grader successfully promoted from the 6th grade is automatically eligible academically.
And finally, athletes are only eligible for 4 semesters beginning with the student's first entry into the 7th grade.
Certain guidelines are set forth by state regulations. According to these regulations, a team member may not dress out or sit with the team if that athlete is not eligible to participate in the game.
Also, a student given ISS or OSS cannot participate in any practices leading up to the next game or participate in the next game following their suspensions.
And that student cannot even be a spectator.
What if I'm sick or I get hurt and miss practice?
If you miss more than 5 days of practice, you cannot return to your sport until you have a doctor's release.
Cabarrus County also has their own expectations, like an athlete in Cabarrus County cannot have a felony in North Carolina or any other state. Also, if an act committed by a minor would be judged as a felony as an adult, they are ineligible.
Our county also has a zero tolerance policy for drugs and alcohol use. Use of drugs or alcohol carries a 10-day suspension.
What is all this talk about concussions, and why do I have to talk to a doctor to play sports again if they think I have a concussion?
Concussions are nothing to mess around with. A concussion is a traumatic injury to the brain. You have to get checked out thoroughly by a licensed doctor before returning to sports, so you don't run the risk of further injury.
How do I even know if I have a concussion?
A concussion is sometimes hard to diagnose. That is why it is so important to get checked out by a doctor. Some symptoms include vision changes, not being able to remember details of events, dizziness, irritability, or irregular emotional changes, nausea, ear ringing, and drowsiness.
So basically, if I get hit in the head and have any of these symptoms, I should assume I have a concussion unless I am checked out and the doctor tells me something different?
Exactly. And always make sure to tell your coach and athletic trainer if you have an injury to your head or otherwise, so they can fill out an injury report. You can participate again once you've seen a doctor.
Okay.
Sometimes athletes have pre-existing conditions that have not been diagnosed. Any athlete that shows signs of unusual fatigue, passes out after physical exertion, or has chest pains during or after exercise should be seen immediately by a doctor.
Students with a family history of sudden cardiac arrest before age 50 should also consult with the physician before taking part in any physical activities.
Let's face it, when you're an athlete, it is a contact sport, and with any human-to-human contact, skin infections are possible. Most of these are minor and self-limited, but to decrease the likelihood of contracting or spreading the infection, do the following.
Have any resistant abrasion evaluated by a physician. Boils or abscesses can transmit disease through contact with other players, as well as equipment such as pads and helmets.
Basic hygiene and cleanliness can help prevent the spread of viruses and infections. Shower after all games and practice, and do not share workout clothes, towels, pads, or other equipment with anyone else.
That's all the information we have for you tonight. We wish everyone the best of luck this year. Remember, act like a tiger on and off the field.